welcome back to Glare Budget with your hosts, Ann Jeanette.
And Jess?
And in today's episode, we're continuing Tim Burton yet again with Sleepy Hollow. So we talked about Sleepy Hollow a little bit in a previous episode, but that was before we had good sound quality or anything like that, so maybe don't listen to it.
We did a Halloween episode.
Yes.
So, yeah. It was, I think the content was good, but
Yeah.
the quality not so much.
Exactly, and there was no video, so there wasn't something to offset the bad audio. So listen at your own risk.
Yes.
We'll put it that way.
But, of course, this is an adaptation of Washington Irving's story of Sleepy Hollow.
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Yes, thank you. But the screenplay was done by Kevin Yeager and Andrew Kevin Walker. It's a very long name.
Yeah, I would get tired after writing it. I get tired after my own name.
Yeah, you have a really long name.
Fucking long. Yeah, like if you make me sign my first, middle, and last, I'm just no.
There's not enough space.
No. Actually, on my driver's license, they had to put, because you have to write out everything, first, middle, and last, so they had to make mine 2 lines.
Yeah.
And people look at it, they're like, thinking that it's fake.
Oh.
Like, no, it's legit.
Mm.
But, yeah, so this movie came out in 1999, and I feel like there are a lot of listeners and watchers that remember the year 1999 because that was the big fear of Y2K.
Yes. As I remember, remember there being a lot of fear around it. I remember there was an episode of Drew Carey around it because, like, you know, at that time, like, everyone was scared that the coding that was done wasn't going to roll over, essentially. So, like,
Yeah,
you know,
because
economies were going to crash. And
computers had their little clocks that, you know, when it would turn over to, it would be 00, and then it would just, everything would just go to shit.
So the entire world economy was going to, like, just collapse. Everyone was going to lose their money. People were pulling money out of banks left and right. But I remember the episode of Drew Carey where, like, they were starting to do that, and everyone's kind of like, I don't really have that much money, but, like, I pulled out what I could or whatever. And I don't remember the character's name, but there was, like, one character there always seemed like he never really had any money, and he comes in with just this huge sack of money, and they were like,
Was that the tall guy?
Yeah.
Ryan Stiles?
Yes. They were like, how? Like, how much money do you have? He's like, oh, I have like 35 grand. They were like, how? He's like, remember all those years, like, in junior high and high school and stuff when, like, I asked you guys for $1, like, every day?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Brilliant plan, though.
And then the end of it, you know, they did, like, a whole bomb shelter thing, and they did a kind of like homage to the Twilight Zone, where Drew Carey is downstairs, like, in his bunker, and I think he has, like, porn instead of books, and he breaks his glasses.
Oh,
And
my
it's just like,
God.
no!
Man, I missed that show. That was a good show.
Yeah. So, but I do remember that. I remember my dad being kind of concerned and my mom, like, not really being that concerned. And she was like, you know, being that there's so many different time zones and there's time zones, like, ahead of ours. She's like, I don't see anything being reported that, like, anything is on fire or being messed. She's like, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Like, fucking relax.
But I remember, yeah, people were getting their bunkers ready. They were getting all sorts of shit ready. Like, this was... Little did we know that the world would go to shit in 2020.
Yep.
We were just 20 years too early.
Yeah.
In our panic. Like, we didn't know that.
And then we got lulled into complacency when it didn't happen.
We did.
Oh.
Thanks, Rona. Anyway, also what happened in 1999 was Bill Clinton was acquitted in his impeachment proceedings.
Even though we all know that he totally inhaled.
He done did it.
And he was getting a little hanky-panky behind the desk.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it.
Oh, God, yeah. I just find it funny and hypocritical that certain people get impeached now. And
I mean, God, if that happened now, Cheeto would have just been like, yeah, I got my dick sucked. Get my dick sucked right now. Everybody would have been like,
yeah, you get your dick sucked. POTUS. Oh, God, that's a bad noise to do. Oh! Oh, no. Let's go on to the next trivia, which is Napster debuts.
yes.
Do you remember Napster?
Oh, God, I forgot. I don't know.
That and LimeWire.
Yeah. I don't know how I forgot about Napster though. I really
You
don't.
forgot about Napster?
I don't know how because I remember like tying up
You
the
aren't a
phone.
true American.
I remember tying up the phone lines at the house so long, just like trying to download one song, and it took 3 fucking hours.
Oh my god.
And
Kids
then
nowadays won't remember what we had to deal with back in the day.
dial-up connection, baby.
Oh my
God forbid if you wanted to surf the web and be on the phone at the same time.
Jesus fucking. That's it. You couldn't. You couldn't.
I feel like the good old days, just that dial-up sound was just so satisfying. I don't know why. And then like the AOL, like you got mail. It's
I
like,
think now it's satisfying. At the time, though, like when you would get caught in that loop of
yeah,
and you're just like, Jesus, fuck, just connect. And
good
that was battle.
times.
That was bad. That was bad. That was bad.
But yeah, no, I remember Napster, and then I remember Metallica suing Napster.
Right.
Specifically, I think Lars. Yeah, they sued Napster.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Why?
and stole their music.
Napster did?
Remember, Napster was pirated music.
Pirated?
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 Pirated. As soon as I said it, I was like, no! That's not right. Pirated. They stole it. They stole their music. It was all illegal downloads.
That was pirated. the hijacked it. I'm sorry.
They stole their shit.
I think you put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable back there.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm sorry. The second I said as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, you done fucked up. You done fucked up, AA Rod. But yes.
I'm crying. I can't.
Yes, they sued Napster because it was all illegal downloads.
It was pirated.
Shut up. Moving on to the movie.
The movie stars Johnny Depp,
Yes.
Christina Ricci, Christopher Walken as the Headless Horseman
Yes.
when he's not so headless.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny because when he was like, "Yeah, no, I totally like played this part. I got it, right." Signed the contract, had it, and then was like, "By the way,
BT Dubs.
I don't know how to ride a horse. Sorry."
So if it could be the Headless Walkman.
Oh.
Do you guys remember Walkman? Do you remember the Sony Walkman? Do you guys remember that?
I remember when they came out with the CD one,
Yeah.
and I had like one of the little like purses that were like little backpacks, and it fit
Mhm.
perfectly.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yes.
So I would like sneak the headphones around, and I put them on, put my little backpack on, and walk around the mall like I was tough shit. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
So dumb.
I remember loving when I would find one with anti-skip technology.
Oh.
Didn't work.
No. But you
But
felt special.
You felt like you were the tits.
Yep.
Like you literally felt tits. I don't know what my problem is. Anyway.
This was the first rendition of Sleepy Hollow where they didn't have to basically hide the head.
Yes.
So they were able to CGI. So Christopher Walken was able to just do his thing without like, let's just put this giant thing above your head and try to like.
And it wasn't
ride a horse
Christopher
at the
Walken
same
though.
time.
It was Ray Park.
Oh.
Ray Park
yeah.
was the stunt double for the Headless Horseman. Ray Park also played Darth Maul and Toad in X-Men, the first X-Men that was done by Bryan Singer.
So realistically, Christopher Walken had so very little to do.
Yeah, he
With
didn't
the Headless
actually have a lot
Horseman.
of horseying to do.
No.
He didn't have to be a horseman very much. It was mostly Ray Park. Well,
Huh.
Ray Park did a lot of he did the fighting. I think there was another stunt double. I don't know if he was the riding double or whatever, but I think there was another stunt double for the horseman. But Ray Park was the fighting double
Oh,
for
okay.
sure.
Gotcha.
Like all his fancy like twirling of like the sword and the axe and stuff, like that's classic Ray Park.
Fair. Oh, it was cool that Johnny Depp did his own stunts. Well, like the very last climactic scene where he's getting dragged by the horse.
Yeah.
Like that was all him. I guess he had like Kevlar
Yeah.
type material underneath his clothes and was just like, all right, good luck.
Strap me in. Yeah. Get it. And Johnny Depp actually, his horse in the movie, whose name was Gunpowder, the actual name of the horse was something
It
different.
was like Goldeneye.
Goldeneye, yeah. He adopted that horse after the movie because they were going to put him down.
Just so sad. They didn't say why he was like. Why though?
Was the horse too farty?
Because his horse is very flatulent.
Yeah, he was a farty horsey.
Yes. But I thought it was cool that like they built the town of Sleepy Hollow, which took like 3 weeks to do.
Mm-hmm. Like, and when you're walking around in Sleepy Hollow, it's like walking around in Tim Burton's mind.
This is what it's like. Oh God.
Oh God.
I guess I thought that was pretty cool. They built that though, and then the woods.
The Western Woods.
Thank you. Was all built on a soundstage, so they literally could control weather, lights, sound, like literally everything.
And it was so realistic that real live woodland creatures came to live in. So like all the birds and stuff that you hear in that, like in the movie, those are real uninvited birds.
It's like one of those things where like you're gonna be here uninvited, you're gonna work.
Yeah. Tweet, god damn it. You tweet on command, so help me. You will not get your stipend for the day. I have this lovely reflection on my face from the setting sun coming through the leaves. So it looks like I have birth defects.
No, it doesn't.
If you're not viewing this on YouTube, which you should, it's like I described.
It's not.
It is.
Oh my God. Wow. It's I know originally they had thought about casting Winona Ryder instead of Christina Ricci.
Yes.
She had turned it down, and I know Johnny Depp was saying like because he had known Christina Ricci at that time up until she was like 9 is when they first started working together. Up until then, he was kind of like,
it feels weird to kiss her.
I don't want to really be your love interest. This is very awkward.
It's like, it's like, I don't want to kiss my little sister. I don't want to do it. And then Tim Burton's like, do it, damn it.
As Tim Burton was saying, like Johnny Depp is one of the best fainters.
Fainters in the business. He also wakes up for good for me too.
I thought that was very weird.
It's a very creepy thing to say.
It is.
I would think. Like, I just imagine Tim Burton standing over Johnny Depp going like, you wake up good.
Let's do it again.
And then Johnny Depp faints because he's got Tim Burton like right in his face when he wakes up. He's like, ah. And then it's just an endless cycle of
fainting and
waking.
Sexual innuendo.
You're just like, oh God.
I just thought like watching the movie that it was like Ichabod Crane's character was always very strange.
Yes.
Like the fact that he was like brought in to investigate this and he was supposed to be very scientific, but at the same time like fainted, which is like very
they
on edge all the time.
There's a reasoning behind that though, because in every other iteration of Sleepy Hollow, Ichabod Crane is supposed to be like an unattractive guy.
Yeah.
And most people do find Johnny Depp attractive. So Johnny Depp was like, hey, I'll wear like prosthetics or whatever. And Tim Burton's like, no, let's have like your personality / characteristics of you be the unattractive part. So where you're squeamish and stuff like that, and you like you faint a lot and all that kind of stuff, like, and have you be very like anal retentive, like that'll be the unattractive part of you instead of you being physically unattractive. Which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I guess Tim Burton also got the idea of like also in the books, Ichabod Crane is supposed to be a school teacher.
Oh yeah.
Not like a constable
right.
or like a policeman. But they made him a policeman, and he had gotten that idea from another movie or story or whatever. He liked the idea of like some policeman coming in. He's like very much like a science-driven guy. He's not a man of faith or anything. He doesn't put his stock in like hocus pocus and all that kind of stuff, and then ends up being
thrown right into the mix of it.
Yeah. So he liked that idea of it, and so that's why he had Ichabod Crane be a policeman instead of a school teacher.
Interesting. I like it though. I mean, I think it worked. Especially for that the way that they like told the story,
Yes.
particularly.
And I liked the fact that Christopher Lee's character was given top billing, but he only appears in the first few minutes of the film as the judge in New York, where Crane comes from.
Right.
And that, like, top billing, really? But that happens a lot with movies. Like, there are big name actors that'll get top billing and they're only there for, like,
Couple
a
minutes.
fraction of the movie.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? You got your name came up before the title of the movie.
Right.
The fuck? But there were a lot of another, like, same as always, a Tim Burton trademark is that Tim Burton will use a lot of the same characters or
Yeah.
actors as characters throughout his movies. So, obviously Johnny Depp is one. He had him in Edward Scissorhands.
I want to say he's worked with Johnny a total of 6 or 7 times.
Yeah. So, obviously Michael Keaton's not in this movie, but he's used Michael Keaton a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee, he's used a bunch. Jeffrey Jones, who was, I think he was the preacher,
Yes.
the pastor.
Yeah.
He was a pastor in this movie. So he was in Beetlejuice as the father. There were a couple Harry Potter actors in this too.
I think they were saying like some of the crew members too from Beetlejuice were brought in. Or no. Or was it Edward Scissorhand?
I can only imagine, yes. Obviously, Danny Elfman did the music.
There was
As per
only
usual.
3 movies that Tim Burton did that Danny Elfman did not work on.
Ed Wood was one because
Sweeney
they
Todd.
had creative differences on Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
And Sweeney Todd because that's not his music.
Right.
What was the third one?
Oh, Miss whatever the hell, School for the Gifted.
Oh, Miss Peregrine's School.
yeah.
Oh.
So those were the 3 that he did not work on.
That was his? Tim Burton?
Yep. I don't know if it was one of those like Nightmare Before Christmas things where
Oh, like
yeah.
No, that's based off a book.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's credited for it, so
Interesting.
but yeah, so those were the 3 that Danny Elfman did not work with Tim Burton on. Outside of that, pretty much guaranteed that they are joined at the hip.
Yes. So there are obviously you can tell the music in this movie.
Yeah.
Is Danny Elfman because it's very Danny Elfman-esque.
But I like the feel of it too. I mean, obviously, like it had the Tim Burton feel to it, obviously, but aside for, as far as I could tell, aside for the Headless Horseman being like CGI'd, most of it was your traditional like let's build this town, let's do the soundstage. Like there really wasn't too many CGI special effects. Most of it was old school.
Yeah, I can't think there's a lot of like green screen stuff, like green screen backgrounds or anything. Like it's all I think it's
all
what
built.
other than the abomination that was the Chocolate Factory movie.
Alice in Wonderland
And that too.
and Alice Through the Looking Glass
And that 3.
and Dumbo.
And that
I haven't
4.
seen Dumbo. I want to see Dumbo, but I know I'm gonna cry like a bitch.
I'm not watching. I'm not
I
watching.
want to.
I'm not doing it. No sirree, Bob. That's kind of like when you watch Homeward Bound and you try not to cry. Not doing it.
Yeah, no, I want to. I want to so bad, and I eventually will. But I know I'm going to cry. But no. I think that was one of the things that me and one of my friends were talking about is once you surpass a certain time frame of Burton's movies is when you start to feel less like a Burton movie. And you start to get like a little more of the special effects and the CGI and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I want to say probably after like Corpse Bride.
Yeah, because that's still pretty like stop motion-y claymation style.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that like we'll get to that. And that's what I wanted to mention in the last movie with Mars Attacks. God damn it,
Yeah.
was that Tim Burton wanted it to be stop motion, but it was all. Then they went for CGI, and they're like, well, we can make the motion like we can blur the motion so that it seems more stop motiony. And Burton's like, forget it.
But like the effect that they got though in this particular film, they used the blue filter So
Yeah.
that's why it has like that
Like everyone looks
constant
kind of
gray.
blue, gray, dead
Yeah.
look. So
But to get the blood to show up though on film, they had to use like a bright orange
yeah.
instead of red for it to actually look like blood because of it though. Like
That's pretty cool.
I thought that, yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
I like it. I like it.
I'd have to imagine too, like, you know, as we've been discussing Burton's movies and the fact that he was not typically a fan of CGI. Like, I'm wondering for actors who, you know, came up with that kind of film, and then had to, like, you know, eventually have to work with green screen stuff like that, where it's just you're not going into set, you're going into like basically just a sound stage with fucking green screen stuff. Like, is it harder for you to get into character and actually like interact with your surroundings because there's like nothing there?
I can imagine, like, because definitely just my personal experience, because I did theater
Yeah,
growing up, and the actor itself has to have a suspension of disbelief. Not so much as like
True.
the audience. The audience very much so has to have a suspension of disbelief because you're going in knowing that you're watching a play, a movie, or whatever. So
Right.
you kind of have to just believe what's being shown to you. But the actor's part is like they're supposed to portray real life just
Right.
under imaginary circumstances.
All right.
So the more that's around you to help facilitate these imaginary circumstances or surroundings, the easier your job is. So the less you have, I'm imagining it's much, much harder because you have to imagine that much more.
Right.
So all of the TV shows and movies or whatever that have like these big fantastical creatures and sets or whatever that they have to pretend that are there, they're just interacting with like a tennis ball.
Yeah. Like,
To
look here.
Yeah. Like if you look at the behind the scenes for like Game of Thrones and you see Amelia Clark, I think
Yeah.
that's her name. Holding she's supposed to be interacting with one of her dragons.
Yeah.
And it's just this big green thing. And she's supposed to be loving it, blah blah blah, and like it. So part of it is like that's awesome that they're able to portray that, and you as an audience member watching it are you have the feels for
You buy into it.
what
Yeah.
you're seeing, but you're only buying into it because it's believable. Their performance is believable.
Right. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I would think for younger younger actors and actresses, that's just what
Oh yeah, that's just
you
what
did-
it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like that's what you went into. But you know, for someone who's been in the business for so long, where they had to transition from, you know, massive setups in small towns to a tennis ball. Instead of just, I'm wondering if that's why there's certain movies and performances and stuff that could have been good, or like you felt like, yeah, it was good, but it was missing something. I wonder if that's it. You know what I mean?
I think maybe in certain circumstances, I think we'd have to like look at some of these movies and analyze them more closely. But
Yeah.
I think part of it with some of the movies that come out, and you're just like, wow, nothing, it's
Moved
not
me.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, it could be like no matter if the CGI is bad, I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it really matters how good the actor that's interacting with this, whatever is standing in for what's original, like eventually going to be rendered as the creature or whatever. Like it might not matter how good their performance is if the CGI ends up being fantastically shitty. Do you know what I
Maybe.
mean?
Yeah.
Just
Eh.
look at any movie or TV show that was on Sci-Fi. I mean, that's the sci-fi acting as well. That's not a good example.
No, I love some
Um,
sci-fi shows.
You've watched some sci-fi shows?
Yeah,
Did they have good CGI?
the recent ones did.
I don't know. And my mom probably still watches really bad sci-fi
Not
movies.
all of them are great, but
Some of them are very, very, very bad. Like the CGI looks like a child rendered it.
yeah.
Like they took some kind of Minecraft character and put it into a major motion picture or whatever. I mean, obviously, it's not major motion picture because it's not going out into the theaters, but you know what I mean. A feature film.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Fine.
Anyhoozle, my point being, I think there are a lot of factors that you have to consider when it comes to analyzing something like that. I could be
Fine.
the actor's ability. It could be how the CGI is rendered. It could be, you know, a lot of them still have to build some kind of set, and then they'll have like a green screen behind them.
Yeah, true.
And then they just have to, you know, go with the CGI afterwards and make the set look a little bit more believable than what they can just project onto the
Right.
green screen later. But it's kind of cool, like the more they develop the technology and everything. Some of the movies and TV shows that you see, like, holy shit, are they really in this place? And they're like, nope, that's all green screen. You're like, damn.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not saying like, listen, there's definitely a need for, I don't know. I just, listen, there's definitely like plenty of, especially recently, like with the aging technology, you know, where CGI has been like fantastic. But I don't know. I'm always a fan of just old school props and puppeteers and stuff like that. It just holds a special place in my dead heart.
Mm-hmm. Mine too. I mean, it's just I think part of it is that nostalgia feel, because there aren't a lot of movies and TV shows that do that anymore. Because like we mentioned, I think in 2 episodes ago, where what's more cost effective, being able to spend all this money on materials and people to work the animatronics
Yeah.
or work this, work that, blah 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 blah. Like, what's more cost effective or what's easier to do, like time efficiency wise.
Yeah.
That's where I think what it comes down to between those two. And then they might just go with, okay, well, this is going to get it done quicker, so let's do that, even though it might be more expensive. It depends on what they're allotted in their budget, I imagine.
True. Plus release date, because I know a lot of times it's when you go into a project, you have a ideal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, summer release date, fall, whatever. So you got to like make sure you hit those marks too.
Yeah. But this movie was actually, a lot of it felt real because it was real sets. Like, they
Yeah.
built those sets to spec and everything, and pretty cool.
Yeah.
Again, Tim Burton's then girlfriend was in it as Crane's mom.
Yeah. Huh.
Yes, that was her.
Just can't help himself.
No, he can't. He's kind of like Kevin Smith. Just,
Yeah.
I don't know why we tend to like directors that keep using the same people. Joss Whedon's the same way.
One of our friends watching, is it Cabin in the Woods?
Yes.
Which is like, Joss Whedon knows there's other actors and actresses out there, right?
There are not.
Not to him.
No.
No, but I don't know. I mean, like I said before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, if you have that magic, if you have that like connection with somebody, like, why? Like, why go elsewhere?
Yeah. I would definitely want to work with my friends over anyone else.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, hey, Jess, do you want to work with me? Or be like, hey, do you want to work with this rando?
Right.
I don't want to work with the rando.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
Stranger danger. You can't deal with us. My mom
That's-
said not to talk to strangers.
And for good reason, because that bitch shady. Anyway, Sleepy Hollow. What streaming service? Was that on Netflix?
No, I think I had to rent that one too. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
No, I watched that on one of the streaming services.
Maybe it was Netflix.
Yeah,
Netflix.
I
Yeah.
think it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like 80% sure. No, it is. Yes. 'Cause watched Sleepy Hollow. Wait, is it? Yeah, it is.
It's on Netflix.
Wait, is it?
It's on Netflix.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow is on Netflix if you care to watch it. I think it's the only streaming service that it's on right now. probably because they each, if it is on one, then they have a contract.
Yeah, they typically can't be on another.
Yeah. So watch it on Netflix. I think it still holds up to today.
Oh yeah.
I think it's still a good rendition of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Agreed.
And yeah. So we're going to be finishing up doing our last Tim Burton episode in our next episode, which we're going to be talking about Corpse Bride.
Yes.
He's done other movies, but we're not going to talk about all of them. Obviously, we'll do honorable mentions
Yes.
in our next episode. But yeah, so stay tuned for that episode. And if you like our vibe, please like and subscribe. And you can catch all of our other social medias in the description box down below. And we'll see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.